Hello and welcome back to Pomming Alls, and today what we're doing is something super exciting. We all love a snag. Snags just really make the world go round in Australia, whether you're at Bunnings, at your local hardware shop, as we know. For a pom that's kind of weird, but also in sport itself. There is nothing more pure than seeing your favourite player bust out of the pocket and snag a banana through them big sticks. So I thought, let's think of an 18-man team and let's see who we could find to just be snags galore. So let's get straight into it. In a back pocket, we have Lewis Jetta, who has a staggering 116 goals, which averages out at 0.6. He is a real marauding little small defender in every sense of the word. Often seen breaking lines, and he likes to creep up with a goal, usually in the clutch time of a game. Phenomenal footballer and straight in at back pocket in this Snags 18. At fullback, we've got former Carlton boy, current Geelong player in Lockie Henderson. 113 goals and 0.7 goals a game. And he literally is a staple, probably not a popular choice for fellow blue baggers like myself, but an absolute staple if you need a goal. Good in the air, decent set of shot routine, worthy advocate at fullback. In the other pocket, we've got Nagoyne. 293 goals and 0.8 goals a game, and he's been around forever. I need some experience down the back. He's a very reliable defender, very good user. You don't get the nickname Silk for next to nothing in this game. Then we've got Jordan Murdoch. Maybe you're surprised, there was a lot of players who could play in the half-back flank. We had players such as Nathan Jones, but when you get 0.6 goals a game and you've got 74, it's worthy. He's a very good player, very useful down there at the half-back line, and he slots into the side knowing that we're going to see a goal just over 1 in every 2 games. Centre half-back, a man that doesn't shy away from controversy. He embraces his Ian Thorpe every so often, as we know he loves swimming, and hopefully he's going to be swimming in goals. 0.9 goals a game for 161 return. Can swing as well both ways of the ground, which is really phenomenal. It's a valuable asset at our club. He's a worthy centre half-back in Snags 18. On the other flank, we've got Shad Woods. He's been around forever as well. That left side of the channel is really packed with experience. 162 goals at 0.6 a game. Real good player who can float through the midfield. A little bit of change of pace. I like that backline. That backline's got goals. Now the midfield is where it really comes alive, and you had a lot of fun with this. We've got Robbie Gray, 318 goals, 1.5 on the wing. I think he's phenomenal. He can play in the half forward, he can play on the wing, finds the ball. Little mercurial type player. Super excited to see him in the Snags 18. Then we've got Nathaniel Fife as the centreman. 148 goals, 0.9 a return. It was a tough one to find here, but I tried to make it so we've got players playing in their positions, playing where they are. I think Nat Fife would be a phenomenal centreman for this side, and he's got a real good goal return there. On the other wing, we've got Chad Wingard at Hawthorn. 247 goals at 1.5 a game. And I'm excited about this. A very often forgotten about footballer who is really clutch when it matters. Expect big things from him this year as well. Now he's at Hawthorn, a year in the system there. Real year to get fit. Real phenomenal player and an X-Factor player on his day. Probably doesn't get the kudos he deserves, I think. Half forward line is phenomenal. We've got Michael Walters there. 262 goals, 1.7. X-Factor if ever there was a sense of the word. And Freo have their second advocate at the club. Phenomenal footballer. Super excited to see him slot in. We've got Buddy Franklin at centre half forward, and I didn't think you could argue this one. This is probably one of the few positions I think you can't argue. 944 goals, 3.1 a game, and he's got class around him. Imagine being fed by Gray, Fife and Wingard. Super exciting. And 3.1 goals a game, he loves his snags. Jake Stringer is the other one on the half-forward flank. 225 goals, 1.7 a game. Phenomenal footballer, X-Factor, can play the tall position, can play the small, can pinch hit in the midfield. We've got real diversity in this half-forward line. Super excited to see Stringer snag a few for this team. In the full forward line then, we've got Eddie Betts. Had to have a Carlton player there. 600 goals, 1.9. Is there a better of crummer of the ball in world football? Probably not. Phenomenal player. Imagine that. Betts' pocket is going to be alight with snags. Full forward, it was a tough one this because there's a few players vying for that position, but purely for his goals to game ratio, I've gone with him. 611 goals, he pips Jack Riewoldt with 2.5 goals per game. I think he's phenomenal at full forward. Him and Buddy, snags galore. And then obviously with every snag you need the onions, and we've got Luke Bruce who's going to be our onion. 395 goals at 1.7 return. Phenomenal return. Good defensive pressure as well on that forward line, so we're going to lock it in to make sure one of these boys comes away with a goal. That forward line, mwah. Then the followers, we got Paddy Ryder as our ruckman. Bit of creative licence here, but he is a ruckman. He's classed as that by Champ Starter as well. 172 goals for 0.7 goals a game. I think it's phenomenal. We probably haven't got a backup ruckman here. Our backup ruckman is our first choice. But you know what? It's a fantasy team and you can take creative licence. The two rovers though are phenomenal. Paddy Dangerfield, 284 goals, 1.1 goals per game. Phenomenal breakout speed, loves a snag. Super excited about this guy. And then we've got Dustin Martin. I mean, he's in every best of. It's a rule. You've got to pick Dustin Martin. It's an AFL rule. If he's on the ground, he wins best on. 251 goals for 1.1 goals a game. Real key player here. And I'd be super excited to see this team play. I think there's snags everywhere. I think it's a real goal, real attacking. I mean, they do say attack is the best form of defence. And I think this is it, really. It's full of attack. I'd be excited to see this play. I mean, probably it was hard pressed to put Carlton players in. I'd like to have put a few more in. But I mean, as you know, being a Carlton fan, we don't keep many snags. So, I mean, it'd be ineffective. But Betts is there. So that's all good. Please let me know what you think of this. I would love to see everyone else's attempt at this. Have a go, have a bit of fun. Do you go total goals? Do you go average goals? Do you happy medium like I did? Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It means so much. Thanks so much everyone for watching. I'm Pom out.